An alert tonight for parents. Lexington police say a scam that preys on some of their worst fears is targeting them.
Tonight we're learning more about a Lexington man now behind bars after a rash of car break-ins across central Kentucky.
Why it may be a while before we learn where a mountain lion found in Bourbon County last month actually came from.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. It is a frightening call. Someone calls you claiming to have kidnapped your children, and that person demands money for a ransom.
Lexington police say that some people have received this kind of call, but they say it's just a scam to extort money from potential victims. Jordan Valines is tracking the investigation tonight, and she's at the live desk with our top story at 11. Jordan?
Sam, that's right. In the past 2 days, Lexington police say the scammers have tried to extort money from 3 people by claiming to have kidnapped their child.
It's a scam that preys on parents' emotions.
This was a very scary situation for these parents.
Targets medical professionals.
All of the victims have been doctors.
And aims to extort money in the worst way possible.
It's one thing when we're talking about stealing money. It's another thing when we're talking about stealing people's children.
This week, police say scammers have called 3 doctors in the area, claiming they've kidnapped the doctor's child and are holding them for ransom.
The person on the other line of the phone said, "We have your daughter and we will give her back to you in exchange for money. If you don't provide us with the money, we'll harm her or kill her."
We're told that the scammers try to make the fake kidnapping seem as real as possible.
The suspects had a young person, a female, crying in the background. And so they were able to say to that parent, "This is the sound of your daughter's voice. This is your daughter crying."
Thankfully, these situations were just scams. So what to do if you get a similar phone call? Well, be sure to get as much information as you can from the caller, but don't try to negotiate and don't try to make deals. Do not agree to pay the caller, and last but certainly not least, call the police.
Police say 2 of the doctors knew the call was a scam because they don't even have daughters, but the 3rd doctor does and was, of course, initially concerned. However, he located his daughter unharmed a short time later. At the live desk, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Jordan, thank you. And so far, Lexington police have not made any arrests in connection with this scam.
Some changes in the weather will soon be blowing into the bluegrass. You'll notice some gusty winds come tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look now at your forecast. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Amber. Yeah, big changes. As you mentioned, the leading edge of that change will be a lot of wind. Those gusts tomorrow, 40 miles an hour, and we've got some rain and a little touch of snow thrown into the next 24 hours as well. Busy time period. Let us get after it. Live First Alert Defender late on your Wednesday evening with a whole lot of nothing. But the clouds continue to increase right on cue. Those clouds eventually are going to spit out some showers, starting to see a little batch of some light rain into parts of Illinois as of now. But winds the big player with this system out ahead of it. Here's what to expect. Those gusts that may top out around 40 miles per hour. Temperatures are going to spike and then they're going to fall. Literally, we may jump 20 degrees and drop 20 degrees between now and tomorrow night. Snow showers then will try to take over as we go toward tomorrow night. And because of that temperature drop, you can actually see it on your current temperature map. We go from 32 in Lexington to 47 St. Louis. Look at Kansas City, 54 degrees. We were near 80 degrees today into parts of Kansas, but that cold air is going to wipe all that out as we go into a very busy period as we get ready to say goodbye to the month of January and hello to February, and that may be with another snow event before the weekend is over. More on that just ahead, guys.
All right, Chris, thank you. A string of crimes stretching across 5 central Kentucky counties. And tonight, police say a Lexington man is behind all of them.
Police arrested Frank Combs today. They say in recent days he's been breaking into cars to steal purses. As Garrett Weimer tells us, police say WKYT viewers helped them make this arrest.
Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton was looking for a purse snatcher responsible for a smash and grab at the West Frankfort YMCA.
Made no secret that we wanted this guy. We wanted him bad. Well, sure enough, we got him. So hopefully we won't see any more victims.
The man they got, Frank Combs, is now a suspect in a slew of crimes across 5 counties. Sheriff Melton says Combs was busier than they first thought. facing charges there in Franklin County, but also right here in Fayette County, as well as Mercer, Clark, and Madison counties. So how did law enforcement piece together the puzzle? Sheriff Melton says it started with our story on Monday evening.
When KYT broke this thing, that's why everybody came inside, came to the table, because other officers saw and said, hey, well, we're looking for something that meets the exact description. And then all of a sudden everybody started talking and communicating. Next thing you know, we're able to pull it all together, and it's been very successful.
Melton credits a loss prevention officer at Kmart for helping break the case wide open after recognizing Combs from a photo.
He actually had stopped this individual, had his ID information and a license plate of the vehicle, the exact description that we were looking for.
Now Melton says investigators will sort everything out to determine what charges and how many Combs could face. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Combs is being held at the Fayette County Detention Center. Sheriff Melton says investigators are still searching for an accomplice, but they're close, he says, to being able to identify him.
Students at an eastern Kentucky elementary school are remembering a classmate killed in a crash. Police say 9-year-old Randall Wells was riding in a car that was hit by a suspected intoxicated driver last weekend. Randall died a few days later. He was a student at W.B. Muncie Elementary School in Leslie County. Randall's classmates are making cards and sharing stories to make sure his memory lives on.
To think that one bad decision on an adult's part could take a little boy's life and leave his family without a son, leave these little children that didn't even know that death existed, now faced with dealing with losing their friend and wondering, you know, why did this have to happen?
Students and teachers at the school plan to wear green Friday in memory of Randall. Police charged the driver of the other car, Jason Combs, with DUI and assault, but they say the charges will likely be upgraded.
We're tracking the investigation into a strange accident in Louisville. School leaders say a high school student fell out of a moving school bus. They say the two teenage girls were fighting on the bus yesterday when one of them backed up toward the stairwell, and that time, school leaders say the bus made a turn and one of the teenagers fell out the door. They say the door was closed at the time. School leaders say the teenagers suffered serious injuries.
A frightening ordeal for a 13-year-old Casey County boy. Police say a wanted man kidnapped him at gunpoint. The boy's family says he was doing chores outside his home yesterday when a man walked up and pulled out a gun. Police say the man then stole his mom's mail truck and ordered the boy to come with him. Police say that man was Robert Caldwell, who was wanted for a string of crimes in Kentucky and Missouri. A short time later, police say Caldwell released the boy. People at a nearby store say he walked in and asked to use the phone.
He was acting like, you know, there was not too much. He just was pretty straightforward about making the calls.
The boy was not injured. As for Caldwell, police say he led them on a chase before being arrested in Lincoln County. He's now facing several charges both in Kentucky and Missouri.
Today, Richmond police released some new details about a fight that injured an Eastern Kentucky University football player. Police say the fight involved players from two different teams, but they won't say which teams. It happened Saturday night at Jersey's in Richmond. Police say the victim told them 3 or 4 men grabbed him and hit his head. Police say the victim lost consciousness and had to be helped back to EKU. Our news partners at the Herald Leader report the injured player is EKU offensive lineman Colton Scurry. Police say he had cuts, a broken nose, and other broken bones. EKU officials say a reported assault at Telford Hall could be connected to this. So far, police have not filed any charges.
We have an update tonight on a Facebook page that the Pulaski County Animal Shelter called a social media scam. As we first told you last night at 11, the page asked people to boycott the shelter. But tonight, the page has been taken down. Shelter leaders say the page had false claims on it, and there was a picture that was actually from an animal shelter in Wisconsin that had been shut down.
It could be a while before we learn any more about a mountain lion found in Bourbon County last month. For now, the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife is keeping all medical testing it did on the animal confidential. Investigators were trying to figure out if the mountain lion wandered in from the wild or was someone's pet. Fish and Wildlife officers killed the animal. It was the first confirmed mountain lion in Kentucky in more than a century.
It is a strange case of identity theft. In just 9 minutes, how a Lexington woman says someone used her small business to pull off a scam.
And then a very well-known Kentucky attorney talks about his recovery from an accident on a bike. But will he sue the driver who hit him?
A Lexington business owner tells us she was shocked to learn that someone had stolen the identity of her small business.
Lisa Park owns Advertising Specialty. She said that someone posted an ad on Craigslist pretending to be her and offering to pay $100 for business errands. Park says a woman named Valerie answered the ad. She says Valerie was told to go to a mail store on New Circle Road.
So Valerie went there, being hired to go there, and signed for the papers and filled out a P.O. box list on behalf, saying that she was my secretary, when I don't even know who she is.
Park says that woman Valerie was even able to change Advertising Specialty's address through the Secretary of State's website for just a $10 fee. She says Valerie was told to open up the box to receive a shipment of cell phones and cases so she could forward it to Las Vegas. But Valerie was never paid the $100 promised to her, and that's what led her to Park. Park says she has no idea who pretended to be her. Police are now investigating. Tonight, well-known Kentucky attorney Daryl Isaacs says he has not decided if he'll sue the driver who crashed into him. Isaacs was riding his bicycle in Louisville last week when police say a car hit him from behind. He's still recovering in a Louisville hospital. Isaacs told the Courier-Journal he is only focusing on his recovery right now. He says he is lucky to be alive. He says he broke 3 vertebrae and suffered some other injuries. Police are asking for your help finding a missing Hardin County woman. State police say 63-year-old Patty Helm left her home in Eastview this morning and has not been seen since. They say Helm has several medical conditions, including Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Police think Helm is driving a tan 1997 Toyota 4Runner with a Kentucky license plate of 842 HHL.
Tonight, police are trying to figure out what led to a shooting that killed an Estill County man. It happened late last night at a home on Sugar Hollow Road. Police say that Millard Dixon's father shot him during an argument, but at this point, his father does not face any charges. Neighbors think the shooting was in self-defense, but so far, police have not said if they agree.
Tonight, a new report says cars are safer now than they were just a few years ago. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has ranked cars by the number of accidents in which the driver was killed. The cars with the highest driver death rates were the Kia Rio, the Nissan Versa sedan, and the Hyundai Accent. Investigators say the cars with the highest death rates tend to be smaller, but the report says the chances of dying in a late model vehicle has fallen by more than 40% in recent years.
So what's the best way to pay for a new Interstate 75 bridge between Covington and Cincinnati? Today, Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear and Ohio Governor John Kasich held a news conference to discuss just that. A plan has been in the works to replace the aging Brent Spence Bridge by building a new bridge and paying for it with tolls. But many Kentucky lawmakers have not supported tolls, which has stalled the project. So the governors have proposed a limit on tolls for the new bridge and discounted tolls for people who cross it often.
But folks, there comes a time when common sense and reality must prevail over political rhetoric. And that time is right here and right now.
It won't be cheap. A new bridge is expected to cost more than $2.5 billion. The governors say Ohio and Kentucky would split that cost.